Hi, this is Bethany, and I'm here with ViMTV and Brian Suchia. We're talking today about VIM People's compensation framework. So Brian, tell us about the options for compensation.
We have a very revolutionary compensation model. And our goal and our intent is that every single person, every single member gets paid as a percentage of the revenue that comes in. And so as with this model, what happens is basically there's always going to be an offer. Okay, the offer sets up everything, and eventually it's going to be software, but initially it's just basically a Word document. And the offer defines the program or the way, the rate or whatever it is you're offering, and then you as the person who creates it is the author, and you can take a percentage as the author. Okay. Then you might bring in some other people. You might bring somebody to build the program, like a builder who's really good at building programs, or you might bring an architect to kind of work through your concept. You might bring on a partner, and so these people will be ancillary to the royalty payments. And then from there, the program's built. Okay, so let's just say it's a program that is a business builder program that's going to charge clients $1,000, and you're going to have 10 people at a time. Now, the person who is delivering the program, okay, then the service provider, they will get a percentage as well. And then the author of the program decides, do they want to engage a salesperson to do the selling? Do they want to engage the marketing people? Do they want to have somebody to do all their setup? Like setting up the room, tearing down the room, maybe getting water, getting snacks. And they can pay people as a percentage of the revenue, and those people, of course, have to decide that they want to work on this offer. And so that's very unique in terms of compensation. And then that income, as soon as that program launches and that income comes in, so let's just say it's 10 people, $1,000, $10,000 comes in, the accounting system is going to automatically know how to flow this to everyone's paychecks. And that's really remarkable. Now, we still have to comply with minimum wage laws and overtime, all the labor laws. But other than that, the exempt employees can work for 100% commission. And so it's really, that's what the model is. And you can determine, it's like, for example, if you had an expense, like you're going to create a workbook that you're going to, and you're going to go pay Kinko's to do all that printing for you, that expense gets tied to the offer, and then that gets paid out first, and then the money, net flows out to the team in percentages. And so that's how everything's based off of offer. And once the offer is created, then all the income flows from there. So
there's not like a structure of ratio of you do this job, you get this compensation. It's based per job.
Yeah, and per offer, you can decide who's supporting that offer, where that money goes to. And we're going to provide there'll be some benchmarks, some internal, so that people can get a range of what's paid out. But ultimately, if I have a a risky program I've never run before, and maybe we don't know what the market is for this, and I'm going to offer out a $500 an hour billing rate for some kind of thing that I'm going to do, and if the sales force, I engage a salesperson and that's a crew member, thinks that that's too risky, that they're not sure if there's a market, they can ask for a higher percentage of it because they're taking more risk.
Wow.
So it's all negotiable. And once the offer, basically what happens is once I create an offer and I put all the people in and what the percentage is, then it goes out to them, and then they get basically an offer letter and says, here's the terms and here's the percentages, and you have the ability to agree, or you have the ability to amend and send back a request. Ultimately, all these communications go back, and then there's a final agreement that is, again, ultimately with the technology, everyone agrees to, and then that offer can then be put into the system and be put up onto the website and offered out into the marketplace.
Very cool. So I'm a cultivator in EZOG, and I'm not really that great at coming up with ideas out of nowhere. So what can I do to earn money without waiting around for someone to give me a program to pilot?
Yeah, so there's a lot of things. I mean, you can take and create an hourly. You can do consulting. With your background, you can attach yourself to other people's programs that exist. So maybe as a cultivator, you could help people grow their programs and maybe expand them, or you could take on other people's programs. So you don't have to wait for something to be created initially. You can find other ways to engage. And the other thing I want to add is every author of a program it always gets royalties. So if let's say for you, I had a program, and you say, you know what, I really would like to run this program for you, and if I you know, I was maxed out and it would totally made sense for you to do that, then you would earn a percentage of it, but everything you brought in, I would get a small author fee for a royalty, basically.
Okay. So basically, there's not any set fees like we talked about before. It's based on agreements when you're asking people to help you out with your...
Yeah, that's the thing about this environment, is that it's all based on free market enterprise. It's based on transparency, and so you can, you know, if somebody you know, wants 50% to sell a program, and the normal pay to a salesperson to do a program is 5%, but if they're that good, or the program is that valuable, or is that untested, then it might be worth paying 50%. At least maybe in a, you know, in a staged way. You know, look, let's just test this out. I'll pay you 50% of the first, you know, program, but if it works and we can get the demand there, then from there on after, it's only 15%. You know, and so it's really flexible, and how people get compensated. And then the affiliates get paid in the same way. They just, instead of it going to a team member, it goes to an affiliate. It's the same thing. Everyone has a code basically.
So people also have the option to say no along with negotiating the price.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, absolutely.
You don't have to participate.
No, and that's where this model of cooperation, but also competition for resources is so vital, because we think it's going to strengthen everyone's commitment to delivering really world-class offers to our clients. And because you're not going to be able to coast through this. This is not going to be, you can just offer whatever you want, and there's a ton of people out there willing to do anything. This is going to be, you know, they're going to have all like a salesperson, they're going to have other offers to be looking at, and somebody's going to be engaging them, and they got to decide they're only going to have so much time. And so it becomes a really interesting dynamic, because it's competition for resources, and if you bring your A game, you're going to make. I feel, you know, at the like a crew member, if you got a job to do something, you know, to do admin, and got paid $25,000 a year, if you're a brilliant administrator and people want and seek you out, you might make double that in this model, because you're going to be paid for success. And that's the really interesting, cool thing about this model, is that people can really make businesses and make, you know, income that they could maybe never make, because companies undervalue that, because maybe it's a commodity. And in our model, there's no such thing as that commodity.
So you have the opportunity to decide how much money you're going to make. You're not stuck in a bracket. You can make less based on how much you work, or way more than someone else doing the same job.
Yeah, every single person makes a decision. Do they want to build a business within the business? Do they want to expand it into other marketplaces? Do they want to take it onto the internet, or do they want to turn it into a video series and expand? And also, you have every right to say, I'm gonna provide a coaching program, and I'm gonna bill $100 an hour, and I'm gonna work, you know, 30 hours a week, and I'm gonna engage the salespeople and the admin and the marketing to do it all, and I want to show up and deliver those programs as best as I can, and that's what I want to do. And you can do that for your whole career. So you choose how much money you make. Even at the crew level, they can choose how much money they make by how they choose to get engaged. And so ultimately, now initially we'll have guarantees, but ultimately this business will have no set salary rate, no set hourly rate. It will all be based on percentage of success, percentage of revenue. And that's really I can't wait to see how that all unfolds.
Yeah, it sounds so exciting. Thanks so much for being here today, Brian.
You're welcome, Bethany.
This is Bethany with ViMTV, your news source for cutting-edge startups around the globe. Okay.